Listen.
We tend to get a sense that it's a hotly contested race. This survey really flies in the surface of what most people think and feel. And therefore, it's a very extraordinary survey. You know, I have always had the belief, based on what I read, based on what I see and so on, that it's a hotly, closely contested race, at least between three of the contestants. This gives Dr. Bawumia 67%. The closest rival gets something in the 20 percentages.
23%.
Yeah. And then the last two have to share 5% of the votes. It doesn't seem to me to be too realistic. Okay. Now, most of the things that you said that his opponents are saying about him are not insults.
Yeah.
They are either factual or they are false. Did he win in the Zongo communities? And if he didn't win in the Zongo communities, why didn't he win in the Zongo communities? Was it reasonable to assume that he will win the north of this country? And what was the basis of that assumption? You know, these are the questions that come up. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, I think what the people of Ghana expect, and they have a right to expect that, is that all of this contest within the new patriotic party, the contest which will come within the National Democratic Congress and the CPP and so on, ultimately should lead to the emergence of a leadership which is able to address the concrete aspirations of our people. And I'm not hearing a lot of that. I'm not hearing a lot of things about the policy direction of the next leader. I'm not hearing a lot about how he will tackle education differently and so on. All I'm hearing are proclamations of self-interest. And they do so brazenly, without feeling shy. You know, you have somebody who is supporting the candidate come and say that, oh, look, this politics is clearly about self-interest, what you will get. And I know that if I support candidate A, when he comes, when he wins, I'll get a certain position. My goodness. Is this what Ghana politics has been reduced to?
Isn't that the reality of our times?
But is that reality comforting you?
No, at all. It doesn't.
I mean, the days when people used to talk about huge dreams, how to transform Ghana, what kind of agricultural practices we should have, and so on. Are you saying that they are gone and gone forever?
It appears so, unfortunately. Or sadly.
Look, sometimes I feel like puking. You hear somebody look us in the face, look us and says, this is my candidate, vote for this candidate, because when you vote for this candidate, he will make me a minister. What do you take us for? What do you take us for? And they say brazenly, they have no respect for us. They have no respect for the people of Ghana. They insult us on a regular basis without blinking an eye. You know, and wow. I mean, one of the campaign messages I've had, and which has become quite topical now, is the campaign message of Honorable Sarah Adwoa Safo. And when you listen to her, you don't know who she's campaigning for.
How?
You don't know.
But she has said it.
Said
it's
what?
a matter of public record. That she
But
says she is for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
No, listen to her carefully. This is a former member of parliament who says that, look, I want you to vote for Dr. Bawumia.
Yes.
Because if you vote for Dr. Bawumia, he is likely to give me a prominent position.
Yes.
Don't vote for Kennedy Agyapong. Because if you vote for Kennedy Agyapong, he will not do family and friends. He will not establish a family and friends government. And because he will not establish a family and friends government, I will not get a position. Who is she campaigning for? Think about it. Who is she campaigning for? The effect of her statement is to say that Kennedy Agyapong would not build a government based on nepotism, would not build a nepotic government. You understand?
A nepotistic government, that's what he wants.
Nepotistic, nepotic, whatever. that Agyapong will not be the nepotistic government, as you say. Okay? So who is she campaigning for? Tell me, who is she campaigning for?
No, I get your drift.
So even the messages
even though
are
it's
mixed.
inadvertent.
Yeah, the messages are mixed. They are confusing. You don't know what they want. You know. I mean, wow. Sometimes I get completely dazed. You know. These people, where did they come from? All these people on the campaign trail, where did they come from?
Yes. And I agree with the man. I did me kind. As I'm not kind, or analyzing the year, he was rather campaigning for ne ex-partner. Ira Kennedy Agyapong. Very, very interesting. Now, Kwasi Pratt no say, Ubuse NPP MP no to Ira Duma comments as a massa. Inti attack Eko Kennedy soon way soon the party ninti. But me and Kwan the ba, na my issue state on a press conference. Oh, yeah, bias, TB.
But there's something that I find interesting. Maybe the Honourable Member of Parliament will help us clarify that. On this campaign trail, Agyapong is attacked.
Yes.
Heavily. Kennedy Agyapong is attacked. Agyapong is attacked. Adwoa is attacked. The party machinery does not react. Check. As soon as Dr. Bawumia is attacked, General Secretary is going to hold a press conference or issue a statement in his defense. What is happening? What is happening?
Obviously, but he has.
Where is the fairness in this practice?
But he has some privileges that perhaps the rest don't have. He's a former vice president.
Oh, I see.
Yes, the rest don't have that.
Oh, okay. Then
Yes.
let's leave it at that.
He's almost like the party's property.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he has an advantage over the rest.
Well, to some extent.
The party machinery favors him.
No, I'm not saying that.
Against the rest.
But once
What are you talking about?
Once you attack Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you've attacked the party.
But if you attack Agyapong, you haven't attacked the party.
Not necessarily.
If you attacked Agyapong, you haven't attacked the party.
No, I mean the party.
So why is the fairness in this election process? If that is what you are saying, I'm not saying it.
Vote it will be fair. I don't think there will be any unfairness.
When the party machinery
Yes.
sees one of the candidates as its own and the others as outsiders, where is the fairness? You are saying it, I'm not saying it. Oh, where is the fairness then? Boss.
I get your drift.
No, get your own drift. The drift is coming from me.
No, but it doesn't mean that the process won't be fair.
How is the process fair? When there's discrimination in favor of one candidate, as you say.
No, it won't amount to discrimination per se. But
What
I'm
does
saying
it
that
amount to?
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not just an aspirant. In fact, as we speak, he's not a candidate. He is the former vice president of this country on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. If some party elements decide that when he's attacked, they would come out and speak to those attacks, I don't know how that becomes a case of favoring him per se, favoritism. I mean, by the mere fact that he's a former vice president itself makes him, you can call it, he will earn certain privileges. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
No.
If you disagree, that's fine.
And what is wrong with my interpretation then?
That
there's a bias in his favor. Because that's exactly what you're saying.
Well.
You're saying exactly that there's a bias in his favor. And then there's something interesting that Collins said, I mean, others have said. It's so interesting. Hey, what is happening? You come into government, and you fail woefully in managing the economy. And you think you can walk away and say, I wasn't the Minister of Finance. No. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? First and foremost, every minister acts on behalf of the president.
Fact.
The ultimate responsibility for every minister, for every policy decision and so on, must end up with the president.
Fact.
That's the system we are running.
Fact.
There is the correct assumption that major decisions about the economy and so on are made by cabinet, not by the individual ministers.
Right.
So there's collective responsibility. Besides, every minister is supposed to be implementing the manifesto agenda of the political party. The ministers are not islands on their own and so on. So when the economy fails, the whole government has failed, including the president, including the vice president, who also incidentally happens to be the chair of the economic management team. Is there any dispute about this?
Not at all.
Finish.
It means you agree
Absolutely, that's exactly the point I'm making.
Collins said he shared blame.
Absolutely, that's exactly the point I'm
His
making.
point is shared blame.
Dr. Mahmoud
So
Bawumia
nobody should
cannot
single
say
anybody out.
that he should be singled out, that he is not to be blamed. No, and he himself has made it public.
Okay.
And apologized on. Kwasi was making a point that where Moro was trying to play the devil's advocate. Moro, it is true Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is in a privileged position, especially because he was a former vice president, a former flag bearer. That privileged position does not mean that others should be discriminated against.
Right.
That point should be made very clear.
Right.
My friend,
No, I was
how is he in the privileged position?
No, you are not
he's in
getting
a
my point.
privileged position because he's considered primus inter pares.
No, Uncle, you're not getting my point. No.
Others are not getting the privileges that he gets.
No, Uncle, you're not getting my point. The fact that he's a former vice president and a former flag bearer, when we go to a function, his picture may be there as a former vice president. Others will not get that opportunity. That's the point I'm making. But that does not mean that when assigns of his make derogatory statements, they shouldn't be punished the same way others are punished.
When they Kumasi unity tono a shasi free fahe and come
Yo, medas, and free unity tono, and was antimantem. We could free us here, a Jurassic Dumasi, and a bass antimampo, and a call, and Sutapa Mother Post about 20 years. And he be real a figure such is. But look at another pay, ye caught drop so near ye Kumawu, near figures as a near the cabin, a chat war, and then not your cupimu, a drat on our can edit to a man say. O share a gira, a juma motaya, the dweller say, Omudia, a brew bar, so many out of one. Now, Papa, your boy, she be already open, or the fact is Marco 8 year, your dear brew, no, and baby sewer. It is ethanol, your bear corn oil, your bear cornflakes, your bear corn grapes, and I face with your blue and yellow breed. To a Casarino, that delegation a boom with some honorable 1 year showing you if you say the last elections, say near no call me and shut down your home. The name who a Cotua Bacoano, or Mapaye, the party for the Palmo. Now who's the chance so good baby could to this time or Metroba at the Ama. Honorable Ken, we are about for about 20 years. Honorable Ken, editor delegates or more sentiment for him said, almost deputy minister and now almost first lady. Now, who can we make it in Agyapong? If you are sentiment. So, no, you're down a month automatically the first lady position, about Omoku. Now, Obiswa, you promise me answer for MP and Prechu, the former deputy minister of foreign affairs, as I'm a country delegation, he said. Omuntu aba Emma Dr. Bawumia ba obey no deputy foreign affairs minister. I must say deputy minister and even minister himself obo position no and to first lady. No. The entire contest and yet say we no first with the deputy minister. No move ga na mabuna obi adwuma ana wo ba ababe create nyuma. We are say nipa when you no adwuma. We are Bema, no near Juma, we no ma emu, Sasa or Basso Yed Mosa, Ukusu, I need yourself on fat ember. It's your best song say, Omuntu Abana Empama on our book, Kennedy, Kwame, I couldn't pepper Agyapong. Now on the Jig Ghana Mobulu in free, a man near any hour a year unemployment. Your call, the Suta Kwama Possible, and all to say, oh, here, Neho Kanima, the Pisha Agyapong, or Mammy free, a Santeman, the Siase. Ana opasu free bonku a no so wasechere entino sera aye first lady na ana mobiya enti omumpia omumia ba no na omumia ba nfa the voice be pia ba konta na ɔmo mampani na mfasodie bi a ɛwɔ so ɔde ba ɛma mmabu no ɛyɛ bi no ɔmo yɛ bi ayɛ yɛbɛpie mu wɔ efigya sɛkyɛ east honorable ken ɛka kyerɛ ɔmo sɛ sɛ ɔhwɛ nyankopɔn akyɛde a wɔde akyɛ efigya sɛkyɛ east ɛne mampɔn a ɛyɛ sika wɔse wohyɛ mampɔnkuru a da bia no yɛyɛ banki sɛ kaa nkoto mu ebi mu fi sɛ bi ahohom bi na tim na wɔse ɛyi ase amena bi enu a nipa kum a ɛnyɛ yie na amena yɛ ɛda mampɔnkuru ebi da South Africa na South Africa ɛtumi bɔ wura mmarima kusi hotels a wohyɛ ahɔhɔ a ɔmo kɔ nsrahwɛ obewura amena no mu ɛkɔ live in this hotel na ɔmo aforo soro a ɛyɛ sika ɛntumi ehu sɛ mampɔnkuru no ɛyɛ sɛ bi nnome bi anaasɛ bi a ɔmo tie bi anaahomɔ bi bɛto hɔ na ɛyɛ sika a nyankopɔn ɛde adom ɔman no na kandidi papa ɛna enyaa sɛ ɔbɛspeedi ɔman no with development ɛnti na ama de yɛhunu ɛnti ɔbɛsrɛ delegates a ɔmo asante mampɔn ɛne n'abato mpɛsua so ɛgyina sɛ dwuma ase ɛna sutɛ kɔ abepɔn sɛ wɔn deɛ ɔwɔ ba no ɔde nnwuma ana ɛɛba sɛ MP wɔn bi ara ka kyerɛ so to abament persuasi na ɔsɔ ɔba a ɔbɛyɛ ne minister ana ɔbɛyɛ ne CEO no nipa kɔ no ɔno kɔ ayi edie ana wɔdwene ana nipa na ɔmo sɛ mo kɔto abama no nyame nkyɛ adeɛ ɔno aba bɛka sɛ ɔba abato mpɛsuase bia ɔde nnwuma maako du na bɛba na de nnwuma maako du na kete delegates ɛtwa ɔmagya yɛtɔ ɛyɛ coordinators ɛtwa ɔmagya na ɔno kɛde Japan deɛ ɔde investors a ɔmo ba bɛkreti nnwuma a nnwuma no bɛtumi afa 2,000 3,000 na sɛbi constituency a delegates a ɔmo wɔ ebi amo population ɛ bɛsɛ 1,700 na adwuma ɛba ɔbɛsɛ 3,000 delegates ɔmanya bi a na Ghana mfo so nyɛ bi a to ɔno deɛ na ayɛ ɔmo sɛm ne sɛ ne mma a ɔmo awie base wɔ America ɔmo awie na adwuma ɛda hɔ ɔbɛba Ghana na ɔbɛwie university 10 years na ɔnyɛ adwuma yɛ nti ɔbɛnya adwuma na ɔsɛ ne mfie no ɔkɔ te so na sɛ bɛyɛ wo meet age to ɔno ɔbɛsrɛ ɔmo sɛ ɔne ɔba no ɛyɛ nnwuma ɛyɛ job enti ɛnna deɛ yɛde first day na aba na wie na me nua response no na yɛ very positive both the former and the current constituency executive na ɛnɛ no yɛkɔ akɔyɛ drɔbɔ nso ne yɛba bɛyɛ kumawu ne yɛba bɛyɛ afigyaase asɔkɔ na afei yɛnwie twape na kɛsɛ ɛde teetu no so aba na wie
Shaibu sɛ wahwɛ a wadi campaign yɛsi akyi akyɛ ɛdeɛ na ɛyɛ strong wɔ Ashanti region campaign yi mu
ade a yeso ko ne say honorable Ken before ɔbɛba hanse no that delegates na ɔmo other constituency ya visit no amomo honorable Ken message a ɔde pass papa no odi nyuma ebe honorable Ken amenya kube sikyere bi edi honorable Ken amenya kon oil bi I enjoy entino honorable Ken ɛbɛba no na ɔmo Ashanti region no na ɔmo yɛ prepare so ɔmo twɛn no when you say that you're late as the just section is better 2 hours you could do better 6:30 to 7 p.m. that delegates chair but that same constituency one of the aspirants late 1 hour corner delegates in the airport and you know the special thing they say the delegates are always preparing to hear honorable Ken message so honorable Ken say you late here honorable Ken airport just won't find cheme abia traffic and also first ben no a edi ya time we so wa ba ya da chow that you nim sema a wo de ba enti anywhere chain enti this tour no the previous tour na the difference is in say when unya constituency executive in the regional omo lead campaign no unya constituency executive omo part of the campaign unlike the previous one na constituency executive didn't want to come to the campaign my encourage for said ebi a wote say chairman to me and some executive bi almost somebody almost supported Kenya no the last election they were not with us but the good thing is that people were not with us I'm on board to support on our campaign.
Shaibu, my final question omanfo apart from delegates omanfo nso omo krom ho no omo hia mo say
benia ye kan manfo mo krom ho dia enna after few century is now no can break your reading combo but shape crew man be gina the sound car no nyuma bo omo sa we drew baby no omo a number 1 ebi so the stand of change ebi say can won na share can won na pel ebi ka cha delegates say mo ko to aba and farmer honorable care. And Jabufa, so far, there are 206 constituencies. That's 205 constituencies. And our radius and also 13 will the analysis of what form and commodity. This selection a very difficult for Agyapong to lose, but easier for Agyapong to win this election. That's about to be our whole call. Now you can see and Sema Omeka Initial Domeka. Obi do baby and Diken number one. Woman be share on number 10. Umo Tata Domako, baby meeting no more Jano, I'm a delegate, no more tea, can't delegates and say.